What is up? What is up? This is your buddy alertwolf to bring you another manga review, and this time it is of Green Blood, chapter 26. This one's called Justice. In case you guys are wondering why so many of these are coming out, I just found out that although Manga Stream, I don't know, maybe they gave up on Green Blood, maybe they weren't getting enough hits, stopped doing it for whatever the reason. Manga here was keeping up with it, and well, that's what I'm saying. I had to check, and thanks to C Manga, I noticed that, you know, he had already put out some reviews, and he and I are the only two people doing Green Blood. So I went back and saw, although I thought I caught up the week before, I actually was about 3 chapters back, and then as I was doing it, the new one dropped. So there'd be this one, and the next one is of the current chapter. So let me get right into it real fast. All right, this chapter is more or less another setup chapter, I guess, for the next chapter. Now, the next chapter I haven't checked out yet, but basically, if I could sum this chapter up into one thing, it is Fast Draw Hawk. Now, before, in the previous review, I said he kind of looked like Kip, but I didn't think he was Kip, but I'm saying he kind of looks like Kip, kind of looks Jokerish. And actually, that's what I find funny. It's like different versions of the Joker that I see as this guy's inspiration. Because, like, Kip reminds me of the classical looking Joker, you know? Whereas this Joker kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever watched the Batman Beyond movie with the Joker in it. And it showed the Joker drawn there, and he was a little more beefy. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But either way, basically what we have here is the boys were trying to leave. And as they were trying to leave, and the mom was like, I'm sick, why don't you stay another 2 or 3 days? And the reason why they wanted to leave was they were getting a little too attached. And so they figured they better leave now before it becomes harder. But they look at each other and decide to stay. There's also, then the boys have a quick draw, not a quick draw contest, an accuracy contest. They set up a target at the in the ranch, and they were shooting at a pretty far distance. Now, I will say this. Brad got near the bullseye. Luke got the bullseye. Luke is a sharpshooter. He is a better shot than his brother. And that's saying something. So, he's a prodigy when it comes to the gun. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be able to kill somebody yet. But this is to show you how badass Luke's becoming. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to be an odd prediction. This sort of reminds me of a little bit of Gurren Lagann with Kamiya and Simone. You know, and that whole passing the thing, and it was really, you know, it was really Simone was better, but I see that happening in this anime almost, or this manga almost. Like, there may be a point when the Grim Reaper has to go, but Luke, who's even more badass than his brother, is going to take his place. I don't know. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Actually, I don't want to see Brad die at all. I love that dude. Anyway. But basically, you know, and then as they're staying, Luke is wondering why she has them stay. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And then I got the sense that maybe she understood trouble was coming and was keeping them around for that reason. And that's what I got midway through the chapter. But it turns out her reason for them staying, I think, is the better reason. So I'm going to go that she didn't see trouble coming, which is that they have the same look on their face as her husband did before he went off to the war. The look of the face of somebody who's probably going to die. And she knows that the journey they're on is going to be a tough one. And she wants them to have a place, or at least a pleasant some pleasant memories before they go off. Spend some downtime. She wants them to understand that they have a place that they at least called home for a little while. You know, give them some respite and hospitality. And that's super kind of her. So this even more confirms the fact that I think she's gonna die, because these brothers are getting more and more attached by her and her kindness every day, and she is becoming a surrogate mother to them. And God forbid something happens to her, because there's going to be hell to pay, and it may even force Luke to kill. Now Jenny and Brad are on the way to this. Well, actually, before that even happens, we get a scene where basically Charles is talking to Hawk, and he's telling him what his plans are. He's like, listen, I need her deed. Get it by whatever means you deem fit. I don't care. And he's like, all right. And as they're talking, this dude breaks in, and he has a gun, and he looks like Clint Eastwood. He was drawn to look like Clint Eastwood. I'm just saying, he was. And he had the rifle trained on Charles. And he's like, you cheated me, blah, blah, blah. And he's going to get him. And then Charles goes to Hawk like, dude, aren't you going to take care of this? He's like, I will, but it's extra fine. And he shoots him in a split second. And just takes him out. And says who he is. And it badass moment right there. Without even blinking, he took this dude out. Now, then you get, again, back to where I was. You get Brad and Jenny going to the store at the same time, or they're going to the store. They pass and cross paths with Hawk headed to the ranch now, or to the farm. Now, as this happens, there is an epic 2-page panel, and I will say this. I feel like the quality of the drawings has gone down slightly, but he makes up for it with these epic panels that are at least once a chapter. There are these epic, like, 2-page, awesome, super high quality things, and they look amazing. So, I mean, I could be wrong. It could just be me. I could just be so used to his quality of work, and that when he produces better, the other stuff just pales a little bit, and I'm spoiled. Maybe I'm spoiled, you know, and I think that could be it too. But there's that epic, like, "Ooh, I see you" moment, and yeah, man. So that's pretty much how we're gonna end the chapter right there. With them crossing paths and looking like things are gonna go badly. Now, what am I gonna rate this chapter? You know, and Brad kind of has an idea, and he's like, oh, it's nothing. But anyway, what am I gonna rate this chapter? I'm gonna rate this chapter 3.5 out of 5, and I'll tell you why. We got to see. First off, we found out who Hawk is. Right, he's Fast Draw Hawk. We got his name. We already saw in the previous issue how badass he was, and this is just from a relaxed point of view how quick he can be. There's a lot of tension at the end of this, going into what's going down. Further him going to the farm. Further character development out of Luke. Luke is really getting developed. These few chapters, because you're starting to see what his year of training, or not training, of being with his brother has paid off. You know, I think in the book he's like, I beat you. That's 13 times in a row I beat you. So he's that good with a gun, and hopefully next chapter we'll get to see that. So enough out of me. Click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please subscribe if you can. And remember, the next chapter is going to be released right after this one. All right, this is me signing out.